Broadcast on the beach with Howie from the Rockville Center Bowling Center. And let's welcome in Greg Centimore. Greg, we're having a great time at this event. This is a great place to bowl. We want to thank you for being a great host here tonight on a Sunday night. Let's give it up to the Rockville Center Bowling Center.
Thank you, everybody. We're very delighted to have you all here. The owner actually is a Long Beach resident, and he's doing a lot in his own to try to restore Long Beach. I lived in Long Beach in the 50s, and I worked there, and I had a business of my own at Long Beach Bowl for some of you older people, which was on the boardwalk in the late 70s, early 80s. But now we're glad to see the turnout, much better than anticipated from our end anyhow. And unfortunately, we've got a few other programs going on, so we appreciate the patience that everybody is showing. And the party will begin when the leagues end. That's all I can say. Thanks again.
Thank you. Steve Carroll.
Greg, before you go, have a seat. When we first met, I told you guys we wanted to do a concert on the lane. You said you hadn't done that before. I see the stage set up there like that. Can you kind of talk about to the audience out there how it was set up and when you guys think of having a live concert here?
Well, we own a portable stage, which is just what you see out there. It's something that we move around. We also have a portable bowling lane, 60-foot bowling lane with the machinery and everything. And we take that around from function to function. We had that on the boardwalk in Long Beach this past summer. We've had it at Rockville Center Recreation. We've had it in Merrick at their festival, and we have that all over the place as well, the portable lane. But this stage is a portable as well. And we bought this, we haven't used it as yet, so you guys are you're breaking it in, let's put it out there.
All right. That's great. One of the groups here today is my good friend Joe Vito. He's a long-time, fantastic football coach. He's won many county champions, Long Island champions, and he will do anything for his kids. Let's get it for Joe Vito! Well, thank you for coming and talk about getting involved in these fundraising events. And I know next week when we broadcast from the Martin Luther King Center, you're going to bring your kids to that very big event in Long Beach next week.
Well, Howie, as always, it's great to be here with you. It's been a long time. What we try to teach our young men that when we play football, it's also about helping others. It's not about just football, it's about life. And in our little way, we're happy to be part of this program.
That's great. You brought a bunch of kids in, and you're real happy about it. And I think that, as we go forward, do a lot of these fundraising events, it's good for everybody.
Well, without a doubt. Thank God they play football better than they bowl, I can tell you that. But otherwise, yeah, it's just important for young people to help others, and as they get older, to do what you are doing and the people here. Maybe it's not just about themselves. That's something.
Joe, as much as Long Beach has been devastated, you're a coach at Roosevelt, your alma mater is East Rockaway. I was talking to Russ Pager. East Rockaway is so devastated, the school is closed for the entire school season. All the children in East Rockaway are going to school in Baldwin. The kids have to practice at other schools. So talk about the fact that East Rockaway is devastated as Long Beach is.
Well, I still live in East Rockaway, and like the folks here, I had 8 feet of water in my house, in my basement, and we lost cars, but nothing compared to what Long Beach and some of the people that live on the canal by us at Island Park. So I feel a little bit of the pain that they feel, but East Rockaway High School, it's very upsetting. I just actually saw a young lady the other day that's hoping that their graduating class would at least be able to be on the grounds of the high school, because they don't think they're able to do that. So, but East Rockaway had a fundraiser a couple of weeks ago, and I was part of that. And like everybody, we're just fighting and trying to help everybody that we can.
Excellent. Enough for Joe Vito. He's a great guy. Just to show what a great guy Joe Vito is. Several years ago when I was doing a high school football show, we had a kid on the show named Dante Barra. He was a 2-time all-county linebacker. He was at Nassau Community College, 20 years old, and while he was in the gym, he died of a heart attack. His family was poor. They couldn't pay for the funeral. Joe Vito paid for the entire funeral out of his own pocket. That's what type of individual Joe Vito is.
Well, Howie, there was we did get donations. I mean, we wanted to help the family. And then, of course, if you remember, a few years ago, one of their cousins passed away at the Martin Luther King Center.
Freddie, yeah.
Fred, yeah. So, some of the families had some tragedy, but one thing we just like this, we're always trying to help people, and that's in our little way. That's what we're trying to do.
Let's give it up for a great humanitarian, great guy, great coach, Joe Vito. Yeah. Joe mentioned that people have lost cars. Very true. A lot of people have lost cars. Chris Campbell from the Crestwood Auto Brokers is here for you. So if you need a new car, he will deliver the car to your doorstep. And he's also a sports fanatic. Chris, I could not believe not one person got voted into the Hall of Fame. I'm a big Mike Piazza fan. I think he should have got in. Greg Bijou from Long Island, over 3,000 hits. He didn't get in. Your take on the Hall of Fame shutout?
Thanks, Howie. Yeah, it's been a very disappointing week for the sport of baseball, as no one was elected to the Hall of Fame. My personal feeling between Biggio and Piazza is this was more of a guilt by association election year. Two clean ball players, without a doubt, first ballot Hall of Famers. Not making it in is just a crying shame, and the sport really, in my eyes, has a black eye. There was no conceivable reason why neither one of these gentlemen should have been elected. I have no doubt that they eventually will be elected. It's just a shame that it didn't happen this year. Moving on to other sports issues. Around the NFL, as boring as last weekend was, with all the games that went on, this weekend turned out to be the polar opposite. Every game seemed to be more exciting than the next, maybe with the exception of the Houston-New England game, which it seems that...
it's getting more interesting than I want it to be right now.
It's getting a little more interesting, but New England seems to be on its way to the AFC Championship game again. The Giants have been somewhat quiet this week, while the Jets have remained active, dismissing every coach with the exception of Rex Ryan. They're conducting their GM search, their coaching search, as Ray Johnson has given Rex his vote of approval. In the NBA, the Knicks capped off a rough week with a solid performance today, taking the sting out of the New Orleans Hornets 100-87. They'll now be heading out to London for a Thursday game against the Pistons. The Nets continue to play better since the dismissal of Avery Johnson. Solid week of wins, as this team seems to be really coming together and playing up to their capability. As far as the national championship game goes, which was this past Monday, I know we were kind of split down the middle between Notre Dame and Alabama.
It wasn't much of a game.
It was not much of a game, but I tell you what, Notre Dame really has nothing to be disappointed in. Even though this last game was a blowout, they really came out of nowhere and had a great season. You can look forward to a lot of good seasons under Coach Kelly, as he's decided to stay at Notre Dame instead of taking an NFL job. Good things to come for the Fighting Irish. But that's it for our sports report for the week. Howie, back to you.
All right. Thank you very much. Quick story. You'll love this one. Joe had a great football player, Thorpe Award winner named Jerome Pettis. He was on a scholarship to go to Texas Tech, where he should have stayed. At the last minute, he was talked out of it, and by Barry Alvarez to go to Wisconsin, meaning that Texas Tech had one more scholarship to give. Who got Jerome Pettis' Texas Tech scholarship? I think the people of Boston might know his name. Wes, welcome. True story. And the rest is history. All right, let's bring up Rocco Pasafume. Love the shirt, Rocco.
Thanks.
Rocco is an amazing movie reviewer. He's also going to give us a little preview of the Golden Globe Awards. Let's give it up for Rocco Pasafume.
As far as the Golden Globes are kind of the more on bunch of the award shows. Most people don't understand like what exactly the Golden Globes represent. It's done by the Howie Foreign Press Association, and the bottom line of the Golden Globes is that it's basically, the basic thing of the Golden Globes is that it represents what are like the best in film and television out of this country and, you know, to the world, because it's represented by journalists of foreign countries, and they get access to all the top stars. So as far as the major categories is concerned, the ones for Best Drama Film, which is Argo, Genuine Shame, Life of Pi, Lincoln, and Zero Dark 30, I have the luxury of having seen most of these movies. I think it'll either be, I really think Argo is like the best thing I've seen this year, but in terms of what I think will probably win, it'll probably be Lincoln. As far as Best Comedy Musical Film goes, I unfortunately haven't seen a lot of these. Best Exotic Golden Hotel, Les Miserables, Moonrise Kingdom, Salmon Fishing in Yemen, and Silver Linings Playbook. Just by kind of guessing by tastemaker taste, I think if they want to pick a popular one, it would be Les Miserables. If it's something a little bit more quality based on things I've read from my editor, it would be Silver Linings Playbook. As far as television goes, we have Best Comedy Musical, which would be Big Bang Theory, Episodes, Girls, Modern Family, and Smash. This one's a little easier because I haven't seen most of these shows. The best one would probably be Girls because it's gotten a lot of buzz. And I just think that one's, usually when a show gets a lot of buzz, there usually is like the front line to win. And also for the best TV drama, we have Breaking Bad, which is considered one of the best shows ever. There's Boardwalk Empire, Downton Abbey, Homeland, and Newsroom. Judging by this one, some of these have won in the past, and some of them are a little older. But in terms of like newer shows, I think it'll either be Downton Abbey, the British show, or Homeland, which is very popular with viewers. Those will be the ones that I think will win the major categories of Golden Globes. As far as my movie this week, I got to review Gangster Squad. Gangster Squad is directed by Ruben Fleischer. It stars Josh Brolin, Ryan Gosling, McNulty, Emma Stone, and Sean Penn. It takes place in the 1940s, and it deals with the rise of the mafia in Los Angeles, with Mickey Cohen, played by Sean Penn, as its most powerful figure. The Los Angeles Police Department, headed by Chief Bill Parker, played by Nolte, enlists Sergeant John O'Mara, played by Brolin, who has Jerry Wooters in tow, played by Gosling, to bring Cohen and his criminal empire down. Gangster Squad was supposed to actually come out last September, but had the misfortune of building up excitement around the Aurora movie theater shootings and had to be delayed for extensive editing. Unfortunately, as the movie is seen to be now, it ends up being unwitting fodder for those that feel right now that Hollywood glamorizes violence too much. The film does benefit from an amazing cast, and Ruben Fleischer, who directed Zombieland, creates stylish set pieces that are evocative of Quentin Tarantino. Unfortunately, Tarantino, his talent comes from his love of stylish violence and sleazy exploitation as a springboard to tell gripping stories, which include incredibly unique three-dimensional characters. However, by comparison, Fleischer ends up merely turning real-life events into, dare I say, Pulp Fiction, no pun intended, without any of the former's irony. It also doesn't help that the actors and the director are woefully underserved by a cliche script filled with cheesy dialogue and one-note characters. For anybody who doesn't mind this kind of ultra-violent, mindless, exploitative schlockfest, Gangster Squad is passable entertainment. Otherwise, you're better off going to see Tarantino's own and far more deeper Django Unchained. So I give Gangster Squad 2 out of 5 stars. Thank you very much.
All right, let's get a run those. Crestwood Auto Group, to get a hold of them, to get a new car, Chris, let's give out the information, phone number, and website.
Great, thanks, Howie. I just want to let everybody know there are still some manufacturers offering hurricane rebates. Those rebates are, however, ending. Some of the dealers are starting to participate a little bit more. Many of you have gotten your insurance money within the last month or so. Maybe your insurance loaners or your rentals have been running out. We're currently delivering cars to everyone in the Long Beach area, the Long Island South Shore area. Give us a call at area code 914-620-2112. You can reach us on the web at www.crestwoodautobrokers.com. You can also search for us on Facebook. You can look under Crestwood Auto Brokers, LLC. Back to you, Howie.
Okay, great. All right, we're going to take a break, and after the break, we're going to bring up Miguel Rodriguez from the Long Beach Gladiators. youth wrestling organization right here in Long Beach, and I know Steve has a couple of great guests. Again, come on down tonight. We're at the Rockville Center Bowling Center. Great bowling, but more importantly, around 9 o'clock, two amazing groups. Benoit and the Long Beach All-Stars. Yeah! And making their Long Island debut. One of the best bands from Boston, Massachusetts. The Adam Ezra Group. So, if you love great music, you're going to have great music on the stage, the music, the lighting. It's going to be off the charts. All right, we're going to take our final break of the evening. You're listening to Broadcasting on the Beach with Halftime Howie, coming to you live from the RVC lanes, from Long Island's first and oldest radio station, 1240 AM, WGBB.